In the 21st century, the heady mix of huge populations and rapid industrialization has lifted China and India to new heights.
With this rise of emerging powers comes a propensity to compete strategically, often engendering enemy images in the minds of aspiring rivals.
So while economic competition is to be encouraged, this reciprocal enemy imagery must be discouraged.
Cooperation is a counterbalance to enemy imagery as it encourages positive images in the minds of public and media of the cooperative countries.
These positive images spark the flow of cooperation into other areas,
diffusing the enemy images and resulting in a mutually beneficial situation.
The need of our time is a systematic expansion of cooperation between China and India.
Their neighbours and partners, such as Australia, want to see a level of cooperation between the two nations that outweighs conflict-driven competition.
Over the next decade, India and China will increasingly enter four cooperative soft power realms:
space, healthcare, education, and poverty alleviation.
Australia, through its high levels of development in science, technology, industry, education and media, can play a critical role in developing this relationship.
SPARC is the Soft Power Advocacy and Research Centre, and it was founded in the Faculty of Arts at Macquarie University in 2011. The centre builds on work in soft power that we've been doing at Macquarie for a number of years, particularly within our communications group. And we're very pleased to see the centre here because it builds on and sustains work which is already of quality and standing. The centre seeks to understand better the relationship between China, Australia and India, and by researching on that relationship, to build understanding of it within those three countries. For us, the relationship is probably the most important that Australia will have in the next half century, and in many ways probably, particularly in the Indo-China context, the world will have in the next half century. So it's crucially important work.
Soft power is an interesting term. It's a term which was introduced by Joseph Nye, who was Senior Assistant Secretary of State in the Clinton administration and who is currently a professor at Harvard. Joseph Nye's concept is in opposition to the term hard power, which is the power of coercion, and his notion was the power of attraction.
Greetings. Professor Naren Chitty has told me about the new venture SPARC, the Macquarie University special new program related to soft power advocacy and research. And I think this is a great idea. The agenda for research and development and theory, I think, will be enriched by this, as well as the better understanding of the relation between soft power and public diplomacy. And of course, equally important will be the increasing role of Australia working with great neighbors in the region, China, India, and their diasporas, in trying to understand how to further cultural understanding and soft power in that region. So the creation of this new SPARC, I think, will be a great venture for the region as a whole, as well as for Macquarie University, and I am delighted to help you welcome it.
Soft power is enormously diverse as a resource. Think of sports, for instance. Think of the way in which China and India used Olympics and Commonwealth Games to try and project an image across the world. But not only sports, aspects of tourism, cities, these can be magnetic places as well.
The Research Centre is important to Macquarie University because it builds on work that we're already doing. We're very concerned to understand the international dimensions of Australian public policy, and particularly the way that the Australian media interacts with the rest of the world. This is a core concern to us, and to have the centre in place enables us to pursue that work with much more sustainability and much more power.
I think soft power is important. It's important in bringing people together. The ABC is not directly involved in soft power, but it is, by consequence of what it does, creating soft power, because the people who receive the ABC's broadcast through whatever medium will end up with a more positive view about Australia. And that is really what soft power is about.
And we really hope to partner around areas of research that particularly look at how the media's involvement, how the media can be used as a partner in soft power and public diplomacy. I think if you look around the world, governments are spending hundreds of millions of dollars on media as part of their public diplomacy mission. Australia probably won't be able to spend as much, so we need to make sure the money we're spending is informed, is targeted, is benchmarked against best practice. That's where partnership with academics doing rigorous work, quality research in the field will be of great value to the ABC, but also of great importance to Australia as a whole.
Think of the acronym DREAM. DREAM illustrates the ways in which SPARC will engage with diasporic communities, in research, with education, with arts and culture, and with media. Through this engagement, SPARC hopes to bring about cooperation between the various parties, which will lead to a better image of each other, which will lead to greater cooperation.
The university deserves much credit for having created the Soft Power Advocacy Research Centre. It deserves support from business, from government, from all quarters, because peaceful coexistence is what the basis of soft power is about. And to the extent that you can bring people together through either the means of broadcasting, which is what the ABC does, or through other means, has to be to the advantage of the host country. SPARC within Macquarie University is able to achieve those objectives. It really does a great service not only for the university, but for Australia as a whole.
We're seeking support for three things. For scholarships, very important to create a new generation of young scholars involved in the soft power area. For public events with the SPARC brand, and for staffing to make the Soft Power Centre more sustainable for the future. And with this kind of support, we can make SPARC not only a leader in Australia, but also a leader in the world.
I've always had the two sister countries of China and India in my mind from the day I began to study in my childhood. Sino-Indian relations are the most important of the most important.